Hello everybody out there. This is the title of the day for January 16th, 2015. And today it is over do not worship idol entertainment stars. And the main thing we want to look at today is stars. How from the beginning, like in Revelations 12, a fallen star, Lucifer, fell to the earth and wanted worship. And ever since then, people are worshiping stars. Okay, angels, fallen angels, Lucifer, and men, okay, and women. They all want to be stars. They all want to be like Lucifer. Okay, they all want worship like God. So we aren't to do that, especially us who know, especially the Bible and have Jesus. We are not to worship these things. And we're going to look in the Old Testament and New Testament to show that it's always been that way, and God always constantly says, don't do it. Okay, so first let's look at Deuteronomy 4, 15 through 20.
Take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves, for ye saw no manner of similitude on the day that the Lord spake unto you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire.
Okay, so that's one thing we want to remember too going into this, because in the end of it, this is what's going to reflect. Okay, you saw no form of God, Elohim, God. You saw no form of the Lord, Jehovah, Yahweh, Jesus Christ, Yeshua, okay? You saw no form of him, substitute of him then, okay? So when in the end times, when the Antichrist comes and claims to be God and that you can see God, okay, he's saying right here, from the time that it was revealed to Moses, you saw no form of God, okay? They saw Jesus Christ in the flesh later on, but we're talking about God in the form of God himself, right? The Father, in the form of the Father.
Lest ye corrupt yourselves, and make you a graven image, the similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female.
Okay, so don't worship man. Don't make an idol, okay? American Idol, right? Don't do anything like that so that you fall down and you worship that, okay? Because why? Because it makes it very easy for Satan to corrupt and to get you to worship these images. All right, so he's saying from the beginning, don't do this, because this is what's going to come of it, is what's happening today.
The likeness of any beast that is on the earth, the likeness of any winged fowl that flieth in the air, the likeness of anything that creepeth on the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth.
And what do you see everywhere? Everywhere you see graven images. You see pictures of people and things and animals and everything. You see statues of everything. What God said don't do, they just put everywhere, up everywhere. In your house there's pictures, and that's a graven image. It's a picture of something. It's made, okay? So everything, this video that I'm doing is a graven image pretty much, right? But the whole purpose of it is, it's everywhere now, so you can't get away from it. But the purpose of not doing it is so that you don't fall down and worship it, okay? So we shouldn't worship pictures of our statues or videos or idols that are on the TV and videos and all that.
And lest thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even...
Okay, so the stars in the sky are angels, representation of angels also. Don't worship stars, fallen angels, or celebrities, okay? We're going to look at that. Celebrity bodies. Don't worship the celebrity bodies, the celestial bodies, okay? That's what celebrities are. Okay, why do you think they're called superstars or entertainment stars or rock stars or media stars? They're trying to be fallen angels, or they are possessed by fallen angels taking on human form, okay?
All the host of heaven shouldest
The host of heaven, Saturn.
be driven to worship them and serve them,
Okay.
which the Lord thy God hath divided unto all nations under the whole heaven.
Okay, so you see, God has created all of that, and then people are falling down and worshiping it instead of the Creator himself who made all of it. And what does it say? Should be driven to worship them and serve them. Okay, you're serving their ego, you're serving their pocketbooks, you're serving all of it when you are buying their movies and music, and you're falling down and worshiping it, dressing like them, acting like them, wanting to be like them, look like them, even though they don't look like what's on TV and movies. They have million-dollar makeup artists and plastic surgeons that make them look these certain ways, and then you feel bad self-esteem about yourself because you can't look and be like that. That's just terrible. That's what God's warning us about in Deuteronomy.
But the Lord hath taken you and brought you forth out of the iron furnace.
Okay, iron furnace, iron mixed with clay, like in Daniel, right? He's taking you out of that, the furnace, hell. God is taking you, the Father is taking you out of hell through Jesus Christ, okay? Out of Egypt also.
Even out of Egypt, to be unto him a people of inheritance, as ye are this day.
Okay, so we are children of God in the inheritance of God, right? Okay. All right, so you see that, okay? So don't worship the stars. Don't worship stars. Don't worship fallen angels, media stars, superstars. It's all the representation of the same thing. They take on these names. That's why the Bible at times calls angels stars and humans stars and idols and all that other stuff, because he knew that this was going to happen. He's warning us. This is prophecy of today. All right. So, like Hollywood, the witch's wand, okay, that's what they make, witches' wands and wizard staffs out of Hollywood, because supposedly it has some magical properties, okay. The city of angels, okay, Los Angeles, the city of angels, fallen angels. You know, but like KJ made this video, scariest movie ever, about how Babylon, that they got the gates of Babylon in there from an old movie and all that kind of stuff. Okay, it's all right there in front of you. Okay, they're actually telling you what they are and what they're doing, and it's just most people are so blind that they can't see it, or they don't have the opening eyes of the Holy Ghost and the Bible to show them these things. Fallen angels, superstars, okay? Don't worship them, okay? We can see this, and also Paul warns about this in 1 Corinthians 15, 33 through 50, okay?
Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners.
Okay, evil companions, communications, media is communication. Evil communication corrupts you. Corrupts your soul, corrupts your spirit, corrupts your mind, corrupts your heart, corrupts your body, your flesh. There's no good in this flesh. I mean, we all know that. I was watching, I forget what the pastor's name is last night, but he was talking and he was saying, you know, do you know you? He goes, I'm sure you know you. Well, I don't know this person, but I know this man right here. And I know that I wouldn't trust him as far as I can throw him. Why? Because Paul in Romans said there is no good in this flesh. In this flesh there is no good, right? That's why we need Jesus to save us from the wretched people that we are, right? So you don't worship people. You don't worship fallen angels. Only thing that you worship is God, okay? And we're going to see later on that Jesus says that, and the fallen angels say that. Worship God. Worship the Father.
Awake to righteousness and sin not, for some have not the knowledge of God. I speak this to your shame.
To your shame. I speak this to your shame. I don't want it to be my shame. I want you to know this information and the knowledge of God so that you can combat this and not do these things. See how Paul says that? It's to your shame that they don't have the knowledge of God, because you, Corinthians, you have the knowledge and you're not sharing it with them. You're all keeping it to yourself, and that's not what we're supposed to do. So I don't want it to be to my shame, so I'm telling you.
But some man will say, how are the dead raised up? And with what body do they come?
Okay, so this is very interesting. He's going to explain to you the different types of bodies. Okay, like human body and all these other things, okay?
Thou fool, that which thou sowest is not quickened, except it die. And that which thou sowest not that body that shall be, but bear grain. It may chance of wheat or of some other grain.
Okay, so this is what I'm kind of looking at this like. When a human dies, what does it do? It becomes like spirit, right? And then it goes and becomes an eternal soul. The spirit returns to God from which it came. And then you have your resurrected body also. Okay, so it changes. That's what he's saying. When a seed falls into the ground, it has to fall off of a plant and die pretty much. And then it grows again. It lives again, right? And then it keeps that kind of cycle going. But as us, we, you know, the cycle goes from us being human to being birthed into the world, then being born again into Jesus, then dying, so-called dying. I don't really look at it as dying because I don't think we taste death, but we are transformed, Okay, we're resurrected, transformed, and then we live eternally. Okay, but that a death has to happen in there, or a transformation has to happen in there. So also, okay, we know Genesis 6, Enoch, the Nephilim, the giants, however you want to look at it, the Nephil, the ones that weren't supposed to be, right? The abominations, they died, and then what? They didn't die completely, because the spirit can't die. It changed into demons. The same thing with the fallen angels. They changed into spirit form. They left their first estate, which they were in spirit form, came to a physical state, and then God put them in chains, right? Some of them in chains, some of them are still roaming around, fallen angels in spirit. Some of them, I believe, in flesh, probably still too. Because all the myths, like vampires living forever and all that kind of stuff, all myths are based in some form of reality. It just gets twisted around by human beings, okay? Because they don't have the knowledge of the truth.
But God giveth it a body as it hath pleased him, and to every seed his own body.
Okay, so there are many, many different bodies, and that's what he's fixing to explain. There's angelic bodies, celestial bodies, there's like all these different types, and that's why you see it an alien and people automatically assume, oh, it's got to be from another planet. No, it's a celestial body, a fallen angel, angelic body that was created, and just like the natural body and all this other stuff.
All flesh is not the same flesh,
See?
but there is one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts, another of fishes, and another of birds. There are also celestial bodies and
heavenly bodies, okay? That's why celebrities are stars. That's why they call themselves these things, because they are inside fallen angel possessed, but on the outside they want all of you to think that they're godlike. Lightning, stop. They want you to think that they're godlike.
bodies terrestrial, but the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another.
Okay, and terrestrial is earthly, like human. Okay, we are from here. That's why they call aliens extraterrestrial. They're telling you right in front of you they're extraterrestrial. They're from the heavens. They're spiritual and they're terrestrial, earthly, mixed together. They're fallen angel. They're half-breed already. Lightning, stop. Sorry, he's barking at something outside.
There is one glory of the sun, and another glory of the moon, and another glory of the stars.
Okay, the glory of the stars. You see, they want glory. Okay, the fallen angels want glory. The celebrities want glory.
For one star differeth from another star in glory.
Okay, you see that? One fallen angel star differs from a holy angel star in glory. Okay, see, one is holy and one is unholy. See that? Yeah, I think that's pretty interesting. Also, it can go with, there's different type of media stars. There's rock stars, there's movie stars, there's TV stars, there's all these other things in different glory that they're seeking. But all glory should go to God, right? Okay, not to humans and fallen angels and demons and Satan.
So also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption, it is raised in incorruption.
Okay.
It is sown in dishonor, it is raised in glory. It is sown in weakness, it is raised in power.
Okay, so you see, it's opposite. That's what we are. We are in weakness, but through Jesus Christ we are strong. They're opposite. They want to be strong on this earth, and they will be totally weak in their next life, in the afterlife, right? In the eternal life, they're going to be in hell. They're weak, okay? But they're trying to do the opposite.
It is sown a natural body, it is raised a spiritual body. There is a natural body and there is a spiritual body.
Okay. And see, they're just opposite. They left, the fallen angels, the stars left their first estate, habitat that was spiritual, and came into a natural body, a physical body. Okay, we do the opposite. That's why God, it's an abomination, because God didn't mean for it to happen that way, you see. So it's an abomination to him. So we go the other way. We go from a natural body first and then into the spirit world and that. Okay, you see that?
And so it is written, the first man Adam was made a living soul.
A living soul. Okay.
The last Adam was made a quickening spirit.
A spirit, you see. So our soul was always there from the beginning, and Satan tries to take our soul from us, but he can't take our spirit, because the spirit returns to God from which it came. He can't take our Holy Spirit from us, but that's what he wages war on. The flesh and the spirit wage war on each other. The natural and the spiritual wage war on each other. But he wants to corrupt and take your soul from you, but he can never take your spirit. Okay.
Howbeit that was not first which is spiritual, but that which is natural, and afterward that which is spiritual. The first man is of the earth,
earthy, worldly, in the cube, in the matrix, in the womb, under Saturn's control, under time's control, right? Earthy, worldly. Okay, you see that? Okay. That's why we need Jesus to do what? The second
man is the Lord from heaven.
Okay.
As is the earthy.
So he set us free from all this, the worldliness. He sets us free from it, releasing us from this prison.
Such are they also that are earthy. And as is the heavenly, such are they also that are heavenly.
Okay, the same thing as in 1 Corinthians 2, where he says, the spiritual minded. So the earthly minded, the worldly minded, can't comprehend and doesn't go after the heavenly. That's why you see all these people, fallen angels, Satan. They want to stay here on this earth in the flesh. They want to stay in the physical realm as long as they can. They want people to live longer and all that to stay here, right? Okay, but us, our kingdom, our place that we want to go is heavenly.
And as we have borne the image of the earthy, we shall also bear the image of the heavenly. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God, neither doth corruption inherit incorruption.
Okay, so isn't that very interesting that Nimrod and the Tower of Babel, the portal of God, they tried to go wage war in heaven, in the third heaven. They tried to get there to wage war on God. But flesh and blood cannot inherit it. Flesh and blood can't go to it, right? So that's one reason that they were going to fail regardless. But God, in his mercy, scattered or messed the tongues up so that they couldn't do it in the first place, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, so you see that there's different bodies, celestial. That's what celebrities are. They're trying to be stars. Also, we can see this in Colossians 2:18. Let no man beguile you of your reward. Oh yeah, this is right. I thought I was wrong. And worshiping of angels. Okay, so when you are worshiping celebrities, stars, it's fallen angel worship. Okay, so he's saying right here, don't let any man beguile you of your reward by worshiping of angels. Okay, intruding into those things which he hath not seen, vainly puffed up by his fleshly mind. Okay, so don't worship stars, angels, fallen angels. Okay, Isaiah 34:4, and all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their host shall fall down. And see, you're worshiping falling entities, things that are going to be destroyed by the Father and Jesus. Okay, and the leaf fallen off from the vine, and as a fallen fig from the fig tree. Okay, so you're worshiping these things, the host of heavens that are going to perish. Okay, Jude 12:13. These are spots in your feast of charity or love. When they feast with you, okay, when they are all around with you, feeding themselves without fear. Clouds, they are without water. They don't really give you anything. They give you entertainment, okay? What is entertainment? It detains you so some kind of demon, evil spirit, unclean spirit can enter you. Entertainment, carried about of winds, trees, trees whose fruit withereth. Okay, like Jesus said, you'll know them by their fruits. Okay, they don't give you good fruit. Without fruit, twice dead, plucked, because they go to the second, they taste the first death and then they taste the second death in hell, plucked up by the roots. Raging waves of the sea, foaming out their own shame, wandering stars, to whom is reserved the blackest of darkness forever. Fallen angels, where are they at? In chains of eternal darkness. Revelations 22:9. Yeah, Revelation 22:9 says, Then saith he unto me, See thou do it not, for I am thy fellow servant, and thy brethren, the prophets, and of them which keep the sayings of this book, worship God. So he falls down. Some people believe that the first one that this is either it happens in Revelation 19 and Revelation 22. Some people think that one of them is an angel, like a holy angel, and then some people think that it could be Enoch, or because he says I'm a fellow prophet and that kind of stuff. So it's either a man or an angel. So either way, if it's a man and they're in heaven and telling John, don't worship me, worship God. Okay, and then Revelations 19:10, it says the same thing. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am the fellow servant and thy brethren that have the testimony of Jesus. Worship God, for the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy. Okay, so whether this is a prophet, Enoch, or somebody like that, or it's an angel, holy angel, they both are saying don't worship a man, and don't worship an angel, don't do it, worship God. You see that? That's what a true Christian and holy person, a saint, would do. Okay, that's what they would tell you. A believer, that's what they would tell you, not to fall down and worship them. All right, 2 Kings 17:15 and 16, and they rejected his statutes, the Lord's, and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimonies. Like this is testimony, like in Deuteronomy, he's telling you what's going to happen in the future, but they denied it, and they do what people are doing now with media stars, which he testified against them, and they followed vanity, meaningless things like media and TV and all that stuff, and became vain, and went after the heathen that were around about them. Okay, that's what Christians do all the time. As you go to any church, it's just filled with entertainment worship. Okay, it's not about God and learning the truth and learning all these things that you should know and having the fear of the Lord and stuff like that. It's all about entertainment worship. It's all about worship. Let's sing these songs. Let's. But what I'm saying is, it's not the right worship. It's like it's worldly worship that's just been pushed into the church to make it seem like that it's holy, but it's really not. It's worldly, you see, and it really doesn't pay any respect to God, because most of the time it's all about you and what you're going through and what these entertainment artists are doing. Okay, heathen around about them, concerning whom the Lord has charged them that they should not do like them. Don't do like the world. In verse 16, and they left all the commandments of the Lord their God and made them molten images. Okay, it's very interesting that it's molten images. Okay, you got TV screens, big, huge movie things, all in all the churches and all around everywhere. Molten images are everywhere. Okay, even 2 calves made a grove. Okay, Bohemian Grove, and worshipped what? All the host of heaven, stars, Saturn, and served who? Baal. Okay, don't do that. Okay, people shouldn't worship people. Okay, Luke 4:7 and 8. If thou therefore wilt worship me, Satan is saying to Jesus, if you'll worship me, all shall be thine. I'll give you everything if you worship me. That's why they'll sell their soul and kill their family and all this other stuff, these entertainment types, because Satan has told them, I'll give you everything if you just worship me. Okay, but what does Jesus say? The same things we should say. And Jesus answered and said unto him, Get thee behind me, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. You worship the Father, okay? Enoch or a holy angel said it, worship God, and Jesus is now saying it, don't worship anything but God, okay, the Father. Revelations 19:10, and I read that, and I fell at his feet, and he said, don't worship me, worship God, okay. Now, why is that important? Why shouldn't we worship any human, okay, and put any human up on a pedestal as an idol? Why? Because it makes it very easy once you do that for the Antichrist to step into human form and for everyone to bow down and worship him. You're already worshiping all these people on TV and movies and all this other stuff and presidents and all these other things, and it's very easy now for this Antichrist to step into a human form and for everyone to worship him. Okay, and we can see that in 2 Thessalonians 2, 3 and 4, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin, okay, it's a man, all right, be revealed, the son of perdition. That's why I don't really think it's going to be an alien Messiah. I think these aliens are going to come, but it's not going to be a alien form. I don't think the grays, it's going to look like a gray. I think because it says the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. I think it's going to have a human form, so it looks like a man. And verse 4, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped. Okay, so he's going to make himself be above everybody that's worshipped. Okay, all the men and God, he's going to make himself be above all of that. So, and that's exactly what we're going to see. Half of the celebrities put Obama up on a pedestal like he's to be worshipped. You see what I'm saying? So, and it's going to be worse than that even. As God sitteth in the temple of God, shewing himself that he is God. All right, so you see, that's why it makes it easy for them to start worshiping it. Revelations 19, 20 and 21 says, and the beast was taken. And this is why we don't want to do it either, okay? Because we want to go to heaven and not take the mark of the beast and not be so easily deceived and fall into the great delusion. We want to go to heaven, okay? Because if we are deceived, this is what will happen, okay? And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, and with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that did what? Worshipped his image. Okay, and the Antichrist is going to come in the image of Satan, in the same way that we are in the image of God. Okay, so worshiping his image, the Antichrist, who both were cast alive into the lake of fire burning with brimstone, and the remnant were slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, which sword proceeded out of his mouth, and all the fowls were filled with their flesh. Right? I thought it was that part. Had another part on here. Let me see. Nope, that's it. Okay, and the patience of the saints is that they don't do that, right? I mean, they just, we don't end up doing those things. It's in Revelations 14, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive the mark in their foreheads or on their hands, okay, worship the image of the beast, okay, the Antichrist and all of the people that are coming in his image, wearing his image, all of these things, the same shall drink of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and shall be tortured with fire and brimstone in the presence of what? Holy angels, and in the presence of the Lamb, Jesus, Yeshua, and the smoke of their torment ascends up forever and ever, and they have no rest nor day or night, who worship the beast and his image. Worship. See, it keeps saying worship. And whosoever receives the mark of his name. Here is the patience of the saints, the holy ones, the believers. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus, Yeshua. Okay, so you see, you can't serve two masters by falling down and worshiping media stars and fallen angels and idols and worship God and Jesus. You just can't. You got to have faith in Jesus and worship God. Okay, that's what Jesus did. You know, he worshiped the Father. So, I mean, that's our patience needs to be that. And I know that sometimes it gets boring in your life, and you want to like watch movies or see what's going on. And really, you need to try to separate yourself more than just to be in the middle of all of it. And it's hard because, I mean, some people that are on YouTube are doing good things, but also at the same time, they're saying, don't listen to this music, don't watch these TV shows, don't watch these movies, and then they're showing it to you. They're showing you the images, the graven images. Okay, they're saying don't do it, but then here's an image for you to look at and to watch. Here's the music that I'm telling you that's horrible and satanic and will corrupt you and mess your mind up. Here are these things on television that spiral around and they hypnotize you, and they're showing it to you. Don't you think that might be something you need to watch out for? Is they're saying these TV shows are showing you all these spinning things and and super colliders and all this, and it'll hypnotize you and make you want to watch all these things, but they're showing it to you. They're exposing you to these things, okay? We got to be smarter than that and go, wait a minute, if you're saying don't look at it, that it's evil, why are you showing it to me? Just tell me about it, okay? All right, well, thank you guys. I hope you understand it. Don't worship celebrities, stars. It's all fallen angel, okay? All right, well, wake and watch for Yeshua. God is love, and I love God. Amen.